sideways.
I'm sideways. Oh, it's like,
There you are. I mean, the whole world's sideways. Maybe you're right side up and it's just everything else that's all fucked up.
that's my favorite perspective on this whole day.
I agree. Fucking agree so much. Oh my God.
How are you?
Good,
So are
good.
you in Texas right
Traveling.
now?
I am. Yeah, I'm out in Rockport right now. So it's been this, what a fucking journey it's been this last week. I don't even know. Mm.
I
Like to
love
be, huh?
I loved getting to feel like I got a glimpse into your experience through your writing today on the walk.
Oh,
So yeah, so
it's gonna be, there's gonna be more because it, like, I went and took the kids to grab some because we drove through San Antonio and it's still like another 2.5 hours to Rockport, but the kids wanted something to eat. I was like, well, let's just wait till we get to the other end of San Antonio so we can just grab our food and then eat on the open road. And they're like, yeah, that's great. So we stopped. And of course, the place that I stopped at is right across the street from where the daycare center was, who the owner of that daycare center was one of the men who molested me.
wow.
And so I was like, so I took a picture of that and then like passing by like the old apartment. So I have like pictures of all these places where like all the trauma happened. And to be here for the first time since I've actually like, it's only been about a year and a half or so since I have not lived in a constant trauma response.
Wow.
And so like I haven't been back to San Antonio or Texas other than moving my mom here, but that wasn't like I didn't really stay anywhere. But like it's been the first time since I'm not in a trauma response. And just to like be able to witness these places from a different perspective has been just so profound. So profound.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. So that's going to be shared here in a little bit. It's just been super deep. And then is the gene key today the dissatisfied one?
Yes.
Fucking A, man. Like
Yeah.
on my way in on Saturday, because this last month and a half has just been hard. And so I started drinking caffeine again, and I started vaping again, and I started all the things. And then Saturday was just like, what the fuck, Jen? Like you're done. You're
Yeah.
done. And so I'm on like day 4 of no sugar, no nicotine, no caffeine. And so
Ooh.
dissatisfied is like quite the word right now. It's like the satisfaction is just out of reach. Fuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just landed on just the whole beat of this gene. I mean, oh, ah, okay. Um, yeah, I feel like there was a real test for us way showers to go back to the place where we were once.
Mm.
And we are coming out of a very yang frequency into a yin frequency where in the I Ching, this is the lake over the lake. And according to the I Ching, this is like we went to the mountain, we isolated, we did the work. And then at one point we came down and we were the lake and we gathered by the lake. And this was the yin expression of community. And here's who I am now. Here's who I be. I represent myself as I am now in how this world has unfolded for me. And I come back. And I
Represent. Like represent and represent. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
This feels like, and I would say in like starseed terms, I want to call it the collision of the Milky Way and Andromeda, but I want to say it's like our collision of our being and our becoming. And it's when we have the observer gets turned on and we witness ourselves in both. This is who I be. This is who I became from everything that made me be who this is. This is the being under the stripping away from all the becoming. And this is who I am now. And this checkpoint of us to observe who we be now allows us to say, are we in alignment with our bliss? Are we following our joy? Or have we completely disassociated from our true nature and from the joy that breathes us? And have we become such an instrument of something outside of us? And this is a really harsh awakening. While there's so much polarity, we know we learn through the polarity, but there is a real reflection now of who's been doing a lot of work and who's been really excavating and deepening within, and maybe who has not excavated as much as they thought they did, but maybe spent a lot of time in new circles or new experiences. And I say this because within the shadow of dissatisfaction is always the gift, is always the enlightened nature. And so the seed in the dissatisfaction, a lot of people would be in the numbing. And so what's so interesting is we can reach enlightenment through plant medicine. And we can also realize that we haven't reached a full experience of enlightenment, but we tapped into a frequency of who we could become. And so for many of us, it cracked us open into this new way of who we be and how we could become even more of that essence through plant medicines, through these different things. But some of us just went into a place of just numbing out or disassociating, and now finding, I just tasted enlightenment, so now I can create a business off of showing others what enlightenment is because I just got a taste of it. And so there's a divide where we see who is the medicine and who is still trying to sell the medicine. And whoever.
Can I just say something? There's so much I want to say because this is like touching on so fucking much of what's alive for me right now. But as I was like, because I've been getting nostalgic lately. Like me and Anthony were sitting the other night and just going through our pictures, and I was finding all these different pictures and all these different things from like the past. And then I was on Canva and looking through all these different like social media posts, like all the social media posts that I've been posting were from years ago that I created. But the first iteration of the Sacred Wilds, the name of it was I Am the Medicine. So that way anybody who said the name of the business was affirming that they were the medicine, because it's I am the medicine for me, but when you say I am the medicine, you are the medicine for you. Anyhow, so that was just like one of those things, like, yeah, because we all are the fucking medicine. I'm not the medicine for anybody but fucking me, right? Your perception of me is the medicine, not me.
Perception of me is the medicine. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why we get such a dense curriculum right now. Right now, more than ever, we have so many spectrums of the human consciousness available to us to see. How do I relate with that? How do I project that? How am I activated through this? How am I triggered by this? Like, we just have so many projections coming up right now, like crazy. To say, how do I respond to this? There's so much. And I think that there's also an aspect of this through the Unlock Your Doors, Unlocking Your 64 Doors website. If you look at the human design aspect, this gene is really coming alive with that rewilding of us and that sacred wild.
I'm frozen, you're frozen, somebody's frozen. I was like, I don't know if it's me or you that's frozen, but something froze.
Oh, are you serious? Oh,
Okay, here we are. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Is it, I don't know if it's you or me because the reception's kind of wonky here.
I mean, I usually have my calls in here and it's fine, but
Okay,
we're in
let me,
we're in Mercury retrograde and we're high vibing, so this is
I
always a problem.
I know. Here, I'm gonna try to log on just on my phone
Okay.
and see if that helps because I'm on my laptop right now. My laptop's just being powered by my hotspot on my phone. So
Okay.
Recording in progress.
okay.
Okay, we'll try it there.
And let me turn my hotspot off real quick. I can get more juice to my phone. Oh, it's like right there. Okay.
We've done it!
I know, ta-da. I know it was so funny. When I was recording the Sunday service for the Sacred Wild, I had started talking about need and then it just shut off. And it like froze. And so I was like, okay, apparently that is not a conversation. And then it just came back up. I was like, all right. Nope. Oh, see, yep, there it is again. And that's so funny. Huh. Let's ground ourselves maybe.
You're frozen again. I don't know if it's going to kick me off.
Nope, there you are.
Okay. You're still frozen.
Oh, am I? Okay. It was so funny because I was like, okay, let's just ground ourselves. So I just started breathing and was thinking, earth, not wildfire. And then he came back. So I'm just gonna practice staying calm and grounded in this wildness.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this is, this is Gene Key 58. So this is the shadow of dissatisfaction. And this is divine dissatisfaction in the ways that the world knocks us out of our natural rhythm. And however that shows up, that is the dilemma of this gene, is our rhythm. And whether or not we think we're we didn't come here with the same curriculum. Somebody who came here to burn down the church is the other person of separation and create more mirrors or illusions of separation. And so this shadow is the victim of ingratitude. And so what we really step into in returning back to the places that hurt us, coming back to earth, reincarnating, being here now, there's a feeling of ingratitude in all of it, because there's this divine dissatisfaction of, yeah, I'm here, but you've been giving me crumbs. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I came back, but this isn't the world that I signed up to be in. This isn't how I planned for it, which again falls into that reactive nature of us trying to interfere with what we think we know about how the universe was supposed to play out for us. And so when we really want to step into the divine gifts of this gene, it's going to be gratitude. It's going to be gratitude for what we do have It's going to be gratitude that we can find little pockets here or there. Maybe we get to wake up and watch the sunrise where we are. And that's what brings us back into that place of bliss. Maybe after we've been wounded from the conversation that we had with someone, we catch a shooting star, and that brings us back. And one of the most profound aspects of the 12 steps journey is when you become a mentor for somebody else. And this is the whole act of what keeps people sober, is becoming a mentor and servicing somebody else and being the gift to somebody else as someone was to them. And so this also feels really like the gift of mentorship, of being grace. We talked about a couple of weeks ago, being the light, bringing the light to dark places. This is like the return of Mother Mary on earth right now, being the divine feminine in a place where she's been oppressed, in a place where she has been just, there's been so many inhumane acts done to her. And here she comes back as the love to restore us back into peace, while simultaneously forgiving us for our naivete, forgiving us for all of us showing up in the own ways that we did, because all of it was necessary. So even the people that are just blasting love and light and don't talk about ceasefire, I do hold a place in my heart is still just as important and relevant as everybody that's using all of their attention and all of their vitality to shoot about the injustice. Every single one of it is important for this shift in humanity that we're all going on. You froze again.
Did I? Or I? Okay, I came outside. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I came outside because you were freezing and cutting in and out, but I was like, okay, I think it's just a lot in here. So I can hear you beautifully and you're going. So
yeah, well, what's really interesting, what I think is interesting about this gene is that it is the beings. There's a being, Ramada, what's his name? What's his name? Ramana Maharshi. Is that his name? Ramana Maharshi. This is a Siddhic sage who achieved the 58th Siddhi. Now, if you look at any pictures of him, he is just in an eternal state of bliss. And if you look into his eyes, he looks completely disassociated. And this is what feels so resonant in this gene right now, is you've got a lot of beings maintaining a state of bliss on our planet right now through an enlightened state, and also through a place of disassociation. And you can't really tell the difference. And we can shapeshift all the time, being here now into also disappearing when our body needs to check out because it's not safe. So this is also the gift of transcendence, of transcending the seeking through transcending the seeking into bliss through gratitude. When we can actually be here now and we don't have to transcend our suffering by disassociating. That's the truest gift of being here now and actually being the medicine for everyone around you, because you didn't check out, because everything in your body said it would be safer to check out, and you chose to breathe all of your vitality into the present moment to show up as the medicine, is the most powerful act of bliss. And what feels true is that it's not for you. It's for everybody else that got to take you in, that got to
Yeah.
enjoy your divine presence. And that's
Got
also
to
the cause.
experience you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and like you nailed it like in your post today in Orgasmic Oracle, and you're like, I could very easily just fucking peace out from humanity. Like, bye. Like that is the constant call to me. It is just like, and I keep counting down the days until my son, my youngest, is 20, because that's my cutoff date. Like, I am available for you children until the youngest one is 20 years old. And then I'm gone. Like, I'm still available. I just won't have a stationary home. But then, like, I keep coming back to, like, but this is my purpose. Like, this is why I'm fucking here, to experience this blissful state, to experience the ceremony, to experience the fucking sacred, and then bring that shit back to the profane, to the mundane, to the fucking day to day. Like, this is my fucking work.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I just want to be blissed out all the fucking time, man. Like, come the fuck on. Can I just stay in this state of pure fucking bliss? And this has been I'm totally just running on a tangent here. So, like, but this has been so prevalent in me right now as I begin to date.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already been profound because I've let go. I'm like, if it's not a full fuck yes, then why am I doing this?
Totally. Yeah.
And so, like, I've already let go of connections and transitioned connections from that of romance to that of friendship. And even that verbiage, that wording is new for me and profound, because I'm not ending the connection. It's just transitioning into a different type of container that fits more. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, like, and then, like, another version of the transcendence is like, I feel like I'm walking through every goddamn lesson that I've walked through in the last year and a half in my connection with self and my connection with and choosing myself, making myself my number one priority. It's like I have to fucking start all over again with somebody. Like, what the fuck? It's like, I know how the fuck to do this. Yeah, I know how to do this by myself. It's fucking easy. Right. And I say that now on the other side, when before it was fucking hard. And now I'm like, how the fuck do I stay liberated and sovereign in a connection? I fucking know.
Like,
no idea. It's a fucking paradox. Does not even exist.
It's like that, and like kind of how we started at the beginning. It's like that Ram Dass quote: "If you think you're enlightened, go spend time with your family." So if you think you're enlightened, go in society, spend time with society, because the enlightened ask is to truly spend time in relationship, to learn how to create right relationship with other, because we can learn how to do it with ourselves. We've been in ashrams for lifetimes, the work now is being able to do it in right relationship with others. And 100%, every single relationship is starting at the fucking starting line and being like, let's go revisit everything that ever triggered me ever, as it gets projected through you.
Because that's what relations are. They are reflections of our relation to ourself and spirit. And so, like, great, I'm in my holier than thou little home that I've created into this sanctuary space of safety and freedom in my body, loving on my body, which I've turned into a sanctuary space of safety and freedom. I got this shit down. This is fucking amazing. Bam, here's Anthony. Oh, really? Here you go. You really got that all squared away? Sure. Yeah. It's fucking, let's highlight some of those abandonment issues. Can you really choose you no matter what? Can you? Can you really not step outside of yourself and your sanctuary while being with somebody else? Let's see. Let's reflect this shit to you at a deeper level that I couldn't have seen without being in that relation.
Yes. When you are in relationship, can you still service yourself first before you give it out to somebody, because that's your vitality that needs to overflow from you. Because once it's not an overflow service, it's a transaction.
Yes.
And that's when you get
Yes.
stuck in goddamn conditional relationships again, because now we're transacting, we're relating through the transaction.
Right.
And it's so hard
Yes.
transcending that, because every single person is going to give you a completely different curriculum. You're going to be reparenting their inner child while they're reparenting your inner child, and every single time just bringing you back into sacred union, where every
Yeah.
single relationship you get to meet yourself again and again. You get to represent yourself. Here's who I be today.
Yes.
Here's who I be in this
Yes.
moment in my relationship with myself that can offer you this now. And every single time you have a new relationship, you get a new opportunity to represent yourself. And who am I today? And who do I stand for? What are my core values? You know, for me, that was a huge part of my year this year. It was a very clear download that I'm still in this like very fluid place in wellness coaching, where I don't know what it looks like. I think it's going to turn into an app and a wellness planner, and these different aspects that make wellness practical and inclusive for everyone without draining my own reservoir of energy by trying to be an individual coach to people all the time.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm trying to like come into this place of being, and to come into this joy of how I can be of service without it depleting me, and having to really look, especially too, we just had the Cancer full moon too, where all the feelings come up to the surface, to really see, am I still, what's the patriarchy like looking like right now? What am I outsourcing? What am I needing to outsource?
Yes.
What still needs the transcendence of who I be and who am I becoming? And can I have
Yes.
compassion that I'm in the goo of it? It's
Yes. What is the patriarchy looking like right now? That phrase right there, because it doesn't look one way. It's just like I say all the time, everything can be a medicine and a poison. Everything. Yoga, fucking meditation, prayer, like all of it. Right. And that goes on the other end. And like stepping into this and like spending the time with the trees lately, and like tapping into the fact that we are nature too. And so how do we don't shame the water for becoming a tsunami. We don't fucking shame and blame and judge the wind for becoming a tornado. We don't fucking protest the earth for becoming an earthquake. Like we don't fucking protest and stand against and oppress all of these natural disasters that happen. And so like what would happen if we took a look, and this is scary for me to say, especially on something that's going to get reposted, and I'm going to name that right now because I'm speaking into the fucking fear, but we are nature. Can we take a fucking step back far enough and see that this too is a natural fucking disaster, that this is the earth bringing itself back into harmony and balance within itself because something was out of fucking balance, while still saying I stand for all life, and what the fuck is happening I don't want to happen. I don't want fucking children being killed. I don't want people fucking killing each other. I don't want the oppression. I don't want the patriarchy. I don't want the colonialism. I don't want fucking any of it. And look at nature, Mother Earth's majesty, and bow down to its fucking power. Like, holy fuck. It's that paradox of fucking all of it, right? Like, I stand for all life while not standing against anything. That means like I stand for all life, the people who are being bombed and the ones who are doing the bombing. Like, how do I do that? I don't fucking know.
This is the work of the great mother that loves all unconditionally, forgives all, sees beyond right or wrong. And, you know, a word that I've been coming back to over and over again this season as a Libra moon is the word justice. And what breaks my heart over and over again is that the etymology of the word is it just is. It just is. It just is. And my dissatisfaction comes when I think I have a moral obligation to stand for what I think is better or more morally right than something else. It just is. And justice in my body is tapping back into the gift frequency of vitality to say how much freedom lives within me that I can pour out to someone else. And if I have not achieved freedom, freedom is not my message. Freedom is not the thing that I share with anybody else. The message I share with somebody else is a different message that I can embody. But if I haven't achieved freedom, then I can't share that message of freedom. We all need to tap into what what our soul speaks with us to us. You know, we are natural, and right now we are depleting our natural resources on this planet to the point that life cannot prevail the way that it's going. There's a divine satisfaction when you're Team Earth and you see that we have no vitality in our natural resources in the way that we're going. And so if we don't change the way that we compassionately relate to one another and relate to Mother Earth, we can't have life anymore. And so this is the radical act of showing up here and just being the embodiment of, maybe I'm here to save the redwoods. Maybe I'm here to talk about Earth, about climate crisis. Maybe my message is I'm here to share about pollution and plastic metals in the ocean. Maybe I'm here to talk about a ceasefire in Palestine. All of them have come to the table right now at the exact same time. And just like you said, this is a natural disaster that we are going through right now. And it's just the beginning of a series of shifts on our planet right now that we all have to come back to the place of gratitude on what we do have if we're going to make it through these colossal shifts. We have to recognize that we're on the Earth's rhythm right now. We're not on our own rhythm. We're not marching to the beat of our own drum. We're marching to the beat of the Earth's drum. And we can be divinely dissatisfied while we see atrocities, while we see what the end of capitalism and patriarchy looks like. We're watching an emperor come down right now, and we're getting to experience that. And in our awakened state, we know that the cosmos are using us as experiential guinea pigs. We were humans that we were given consciousness. They could have given it to the apes. They could have given it to the dolphins. They could have given it to the bees. We got to this place where we got to experience a different state of consciousness than other animals. And we got to see what did we do with that? Who did we be with that? And Mother Gaia, after 4,000 years of patriarchy, has had Mother Mary comes back to us and says, yo, bitches, y'all have fucked it up. I am divinely satisfied, and I'm here now, and I can hold you and compassionately witness the suffering. But if I'm going to bring the light back in, there's a lot of shit that's got to change, and it's not going to look pretty while all of it happens. So how can we go beyond focus? Because that's the bliss state. Beyond focus is when we are tuning out of what's present for us right now. The dilemma of this shadow is the future. It's every time that we have an idea of what we think the future should look like, who we think will be in the future. When we start taking ourselves out of the now, we exert so much of our vitality into a distant future that's not real. And that's where we create more of the wound of separation for us, because we place ourselves in a place where we think happiness is on the other side of something. We think that it's going to get better when it's Friday, when it's summer, when I have more money. All of that seeking is our not being within the sacred as it is now. And so bliss feels incomprehensible sometimes on this planet. You'd have to be mentally ill to experience bliss. And that's who the sacred wild is. I am going to come out and say, I am mentally ill. I have post-traumatic stress disorder from this planet. I have an immense amount of trauma in my body that I've experienced from being a feeling person on this planet right now. I am an awakened individual who is deeply divinely dissatisfied with the condition of us destroying our natural resources on this fucking planet, all in the name of money, as if at some point we can eat money. You know, like the dismantling of that is the service that I'm in. And part of the joy, the vitality comes in me when I share that service with the people that can hold that. And knowing that most rooms cannot hold that conversation. Most people have not achieved a certain amount of freedom in them that they can give grace out, and they can hand out permission slips for other people to speak their truth.
Yes. Fuck, babe, like you're going and going, and like I'm tapping in, I'm like, what the fuck do I was like, I'm not fucking free. I'm not gonna preach freedom. I'm not fucking fully safe. I'm not gonna fucking preach safety. I'm fully fucking in that I don't know what the fuck's going on, and I don't know what the fuck to do. So that's my fucking medicine. Like, I'm gonna be here. Then you fucking spoke it, like, I'm fucking mentally ill. Me fucking too. I think anybody who decides to be on this goddamn planet is mentally fucking ill. Like, seriously, we are literally here, a walking goddamn paradox. We are the infinite goddamn universe in finite decaying body bags that shit. Like, fuck, man. Like, I have experienced mind-altering bliss within the last few weeks, and have been also in a death portal. Like, no, nobody who is fucking sane can be okay in this.
Yeah.
Like,
how can you take ayahuasca? How can you take ayahuasca, have a awestruck experience, and then go back to your 9 to 5 and just pigeonhole yourself back into the thing? That's going to make anybody mentally ill with that kind of split on who we should be and what we're doing.
Literally what I'm fucking walking through right now. Because after I get off this call, I'm going to hop on another one to help create a proposal for this big giant fucking community. And it is like pulling fucking teeth. Like, every time I go into the office and I keep creating stories in my brain that make it okay, and it's interesting, and I fucking terrified of naming this, because every time I fucking speak it and name it, then the shit happens. And like, it's great that it happens and it transforms, but the process is fucking scary. Again, naming, speaking, I'm fucking mentally ill and scared. So fucking shit, like, it, because it's like pulling fucking teeth, and it does not feel fucking good. It does not feel good to be in that job. Every time I go into that job, I tell myself these stories, and it is very, it resembles, and I want to also name that the men whom I work with who own this business are fucking stand-up stellar fucking men. They are people who are doing business from the heart, and are literally and genuinely not out there to fucking gouge people's pockets. They're there to make a difference in this world, and it doesn't fucking feel good.
Yeah.
And the stories that I tell myself to convince myself to go in there every day, and to convince myself it's worth it, and to convince this, are very similar to the stories that I was telling myself in my last abusive, toxic fucking relationship, to convince myself to stay. Because it doesn't fucking fit, and I'm too scared to solely rely on my business to support me, my children, and my mom.
Yeah, let's be real. It takes an incredible amount of courage and money to attain freedom in the world that we
in this reality.
In this reality now, and that has to be named, because all of us who have these great missions and these creative endeavors, you have to have a certain amount of resources in order to breathe them through. I know right now I'm like, okay, I didn't get the vacations that I wanted. Okay, I'll create spiritual retreats to go to the places that I want. And I'm like, oh, here's my patriarchy trying to say, how do I get my needs met creatively? And I'm so willing to put myself in service, while also having to name the fact, wouldn't it be nice to just have a fucking money to have the vacation that I want without having to pimp myself out to get money to do the thing that I want to do? But that, like, this is the divine dissatisfaction of everything takes fucking money. Like,
Yeah, it really fucking does. And can we fucking let go of that patriarchy and colonialism even more and name that it's not a fucking vacation, it's self fucking care.
yes,
It is not a, oh, I want to pamper myself. No, you want to take care of yourself.
I want to
You
go
want to
out and
fucking take care
submerge
of
in
yourself.
nature. Yeah, I want to be
Yes.
immersed in nature without an agenda of something that I have to
Yeah.
do and somewhere I have to be. That's all I want.
Yes. Exact same. That's it. I just want to be in my natural fucking state of being without anybody asking me to be otherwise.
Yeah.
That's fucking it.
Yes.
And it's goddamn scary.
Especially as women, especially as entrepreneurial women, especially as women with a message, it is so unjust to me that we just, it's so unjust that we didn't come with these golden goose that we could just like, okay, now I have the money to my hedge fund to start my business. Now I can, or my healing journey or whatever it looks. It's like, okay, now I'm a mom. Now I got kids to raise. Now I'm a student. Now I got grades to get. Now I'm in work. Now I got to care for my parents as their age. It's always service to other for a woman. Always.
Yeah. Always. And the paradox of it is when I'm not in service to other, I don't feel fucking whole.
Yeah.
Like I don't fucking feel complete. Yeah. I feel like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like for a time, and not always, there's plenty of time when I go out and I'm like, I'm taking a week. Yeah. Phones are going to be off. Babes, you got your dad. John and Joey, you got the company. Like, I got a week to myself to just be, and that's Saguaro Man this year. So I'm super excited about that. And it always brings me back. It always brings me back to, this is why you're fucking here. This is why you're here. And I've realized, and I think over this last year, I have, especially with the new job and expanding with the business, the Sacred Wild, just everything in life is expanding. Like really, it's all about coming back to myself. And in those moments where I get resentful about showing up in service, in those moments where I get resentful about having to do all the things to get the things and to be the thing and to do whatever, like that's when I need to come back to myself the most. Yeah. And that's something that I'm super grateful with this new connection and blossoming relationship with Anthony, is that he's taking so much time for himself that it holds a really fucking hard mirror for me, showing me all the times that I don't take for myself. Not just in a romantic relationship, but with my kids, with my mom, with my job, with my everything. And I'm like, well, fuck, okay. Yeah. Like, what do I want to do? That's the question. And when I ask those questions, it is never, I want to hop on the computer and answer and respond to these 245 emails. Yeah. But then taking a step back, though, and recognizing that that's a step on the journey, not the journey itself, because it's a step towards, I want the Sacred Wild to be a space of safety and freedom. I want to be able to expand and grow this business in its own natural rhythm without requiring it to show up or to produce in a way that supports myself and my family. And so now those 244 emails, yeah, that's an act of service too, because that does allow me to not require people, not beg people, not promote, not do anything. And it gives me the time to do the energetic internal work, deciding how I'm going to show up on social media, deciding when the mystery school, Jenny, like officially opens, what am I going to charge? Not how much do I need to make and divide that by 12 and divide that by whatever. Yeah. But what's coming through, what feels alive and aligned for me to charge for this. That's abundance. That's fucking wealth. That is freedom. Yeah. Within that, there are feelings that don't fucking feel like freedom though. Totally. Because we're in this fucking patriarchy, colonialized world that requires me to work my ass off in order to have enough money to support me, my 2 children, my mother, and the Sacred Wild. Okay, I'm back. I'm done. I fucking love you so much, Sheena. I hope you know how grateful I am for you. Like, whether it's watching the replays or being here in person or reading your astro inspos or whatever, like just the way you show up, both here and in Orgasmic Oracle Mystery School, and I'm sure Fluorescence also, even though I'm not in that container anymore, is just so, it's so reliable in how you show up, not when you show up, not that you show up every day, not that you do whatever, but when you show up, I know it's fucking you in your truth and your authentic fucking self. And that gives me so much permission to fucking do the same. Like today, saying, oh, my little inner Jen is like, I do not want to be Scrooge. I do not want to be unhappy anymore. I want to be fucking happy and fun and have all the things. Like, I'm done. Yeah. Right? Like, we get to fucking be true and honest and fucking raw. And that is the medicine this fucking world needs.
Oh, I love you.
Fucking love you.
And I mirror that right back to you, sister. And that means so much to me. I mean, as you know, my life's work is the divine expression of truth, and authenticity is the fuel that runs me and that I feel in others. Like, you know, right now, while we are experiencing so much polarity, you know, all my wounds are coming to the surface. All the places that I've been hurt are activated. And in that activation, I can witness, I can compassionately observe those wounds without, like you said at the beginning, being so tethered to them that they're my whole being on fire or getting hurt in this way. I'm just compassionately witnessing how alive they all are right now. Yeah. And it's through my suffering that I reached enlightenment. And, you know, what I learned about myself is that, you know, awakening is a series. It doesn't happen. You don't just wake up overnight. I came in this lifetime more awakened than a lot of people. And in 2001, 9/11 was blasted me open in a way that scared the complete everlasting shit out of me, because that was when the first time I realized at age 18, the government does not have my best interest in mind. And I'm now 40 and have felt like that, while I have simultaneously experienced a lot of collective pools of people that are still getting their vaccinations and lining up for the next, getting their doctor's orders of what's the next thing to do. And they follow these. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost family. You know, I've lost people over the years, and I've been diagnosed as mentally ill. I've been told that something was wrong with me because this world was making me sick, you know, and it is my radical aliveness that I'm here to speak about. And I feel it and I see it around others. And when I can give people permission to tap into their radical aliveness, for me, that is the way that I connect with people. That reminds me of why I'm here now. It is such medicine. It's the vitality for me, because, you know, I've spent so many years by myself being like, what the fuck is wrong with this world? While simultaneously also having the eternal spirit of the child that wants to play and take it and make it into an Alice in Wonderland and have fun with it, because it's insane, you know, that it's like, you know, I'm going to be having fun in this experience, you know, and I think that we get to be so discerning, you know, and the vitality for this particular week, it's like when you're around people, just noticing who fills you up and who depletes you. You know, if we look at social media what accounts are deeply triggering for you in a harmful way, that now you're in a couch and you can't go into work and you can't do the things, you can't connect because you've been so wounded by that. You know, I have compassion for that and how difficult it is, especially to heal yourself and get yourself out of those horrible places. And so everybody that's reflected, that's seeing all the mirrors of a time that they were once imprisoned, it's deeply activating to see that out there and to have to resurface all those times that you felt that oppression. And if that freezes you, and if that stops you in your tracks, then I want to shout, I want to give you all my vitality. I just want to hug you and love you and tell you that that's perfectly okay. If in this entire lifetime, all you do is achieve freedom in your body, because that's the most effective use of your lifetime. Not everybody's curriculum is going to achieve that amount of freedom that ends a genocide in Palestine, or that goes to Congo or Sudan. Like, we don't all have that reservoir of vitality to heal the entire planet, but we can heal our
piece. Yes, and that's the fucking piece. I keep coming back, like, in this fucking dizzying circle of social justice, right? Figuring out what social justice is for me. Yeah. What does that look like for me? Because, like, nobody's come to me with the version that, like, has lit me the fuck up all the way with everything. There's bits and pieces, just like life, just like my fucking spirituality, just like everything, right? And it keeps fucking coming back, right? We can only even start to heal the outside when we heal ourselves. Yeah. And so that person that fucking finds their way to almost safety within themselves, even not even complete safety, but almost fucking safety, is making just as profound of an impact in this revolution of ending all wars as the person that is out there fucking in the line of fire, saving children, saving fucking people. Or it's somebody else that's out there fucking on their social media page that has millions of followers speaking, right? Naming it, speaking it. We all have our own pieces to the same goddamn puzzle. Yeah. And the way Reverend Brianna preaches about coming to counsel, right? I see us coming to this fucking brown table, the woman who's learning to be safe in her body, the man that's learning how to be safe in his emotions, the fucking people that are out building fucking protests, the person that has 1 million fucking followers that doesn't talk about what's going on or take a stand on either side, but teaches people how to fucking love themselves and listen to themselves. We all come to the table and put the different pieces we have together and realize that it's to the same fucking puzzle, and we can see a bigger picture.
Amen. Amen. And to the woman that went online and saw a post that ruptured her from the inside out, and then later found a coach that was going to come up with a program that could heal her inner child, and that was the medicine that need, that is just as fucking effective. Yeah. Somebody fucking, you know, shouting from the rooftops at how many representatives that they called. It's just as effective when we can stop judgment on where each person should be and what kind of service they should offer. We can only offer the service that we've offered to ourselves. That's what we're here to do. And that literally stems from this divine satisfaction, is the fact that we want to do so much, but we're not equipped to, we're not supposed to, we're supposed to resource ourselves. This is a gift of vitality, of what brings us life, what brings us back to life. If something really hurt us out there and somebody harmed us, who do we go to bring us back to life without judging anything else, that it brought us back to life in that moment? And that's what we needed. That's the gift that we're here. And when we move in our own authentic pace, in this vibrational reality, people are going to be moved by your essence in that pace, and people are going to feel it when you're going too fast and you're frenetic and you're speaking out of fear and you're speaking out of, but what about the others, and what about me too? There's a different resonance to the embodied authentic pace of I'm in the mystery versus I'm running as fast as I can to tell you that we got to make a change. Yes.
There is a difference between look at me and here I am.
Yes.
There's a difference. And thank you. Like, fucking tears in my eyes, because there's just so much going, like, my medicine is not any better or worse than yours or anybody who's watching this or anybody who's sitting in on this. Like, we each, like, what we bring to this world is fucking important.
Yeah.
It's fucking important. And it's from that, like, that piece. It's like the way I look at, you know, when I'm working with the clients or working with a friend, or because I don't even have clients anymore, they're all just fucking friends.
Mhm.
Like, you know, the people who are out there that treat the anxiety, that treat the OCD, that treat the depression, that treat this, like they're needed. I see them as like ER doctors or even
Yeah.
AA, right? You go to the ER and you've had a severe accident and there's like or even just not even severe accident, you have this fucking rash and it's creating all these symptoms, right? And the ER doctor or the urgent care, they're going to give you a cream and it's going to take away that rash. It's going to ease the symptoms. But the rash is going to keep coming back if we never go to our primary care physician, if we don't find out what's causing the rash. These
Yes.
wars, genocide, fucking addiction, depression, anxiety, like these are all symptoms. And we need the symptoms to ease before we can do exploration to find what the core problem is, where it's all stemming from.
Yeah.
And when we allow ourselves to do that, when we provide for ourselves and identify that we are worthy of ease, we are worthy of not being in pain and suffering, and we ease those symptoms, and we give ourselves the opportunity to dig a little deeper and find those core wounds, it's that, like how Brianna says, the guilt or the grief is going to bring us together, not the guilt, the grief.
Yeah.
Like our core wounds are the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
How they came to be is different. Our experience that got us to having those core wounds is different. The words are different, the places are different, but the core wound itself is the fucking same.
Yeah. Yeah. On the Unlock Your Design page, they say when consciousness comes, and this is from the Gene Keys book too. When consciousness comes, it comes into you like a flood, wiping you clean in less than a microsecond. This is the bliss of being beyond focus. And, you know, what this really speaks to me to say is this is the expression of, and we hear it all the time, but be the change you wish to see.
Yeah.
And 100% of us have a different change that we wish to see.
Yes.
We get to be the change on whatever that little tiny miracle is, and it starts within us. And it is the most enlightened aspect to walk through this world. And there is a concept in this gene, and it's called deity yoga. And I didn't realize that I participated in deity yoga until I learned about it. And it is the process of choosing a deity and embodying them and stepping into their frequency of becoming them simply through your reverence for them. And in this 2023, the word that came to me so strongly was the word divine, which I have in my necklace on my neck. And so as we close out this year, and I just think about what a fucking journey it has been to step into the divine frequency, because all these words are a frequency that I play in and I experiment with and I tap into and I embody it. My goal is to embody it. And now to go beyond that in this Siddhic expression of being 100% human and 100% divine is, like you said, it's the I am medicine everywhere I go, in the embodiment of the work that I've chosen to do for myself and how it gets to be projected outside of me. Your awareness of me is a reflection of the work that you've decided to do for yourself. We get to, everyone has a personal reality here. There's 8 billion souls, there's 8 billion versions of reality. We don't realize it, but we are constantly in parallel universes with each other.
Yes.
You're hearing through your level of awareness what you're able to decipher. And that same conversation that we have, that you listen back to a month from now, your consciousness is going to hear it differently. That's the parallel universe that we get to live in. And that for me brings me into the place of bliss, being into the place of remembering that the goddess is within me, There is no one coming to save me because I am my own savior. And how freeing and liberating is that? I don't have to wait for my politician to change. I don't have to wait for politics around me to tell me that I get to be who I be. The divine essence gets to be who my truest expression is when I can claim that for myself. So this gift of
Yes.
bliss reminds me that I'm a multidimensional being. And this 3D world might be really fucking catastrophic right now. But the other ones, I still tap into bliss. I still experience the frequency of heaven. I still experience the radical aliveness of gratitude and how resourced I feel, not just on the material plane, but in the emotional space. You know, this vitality, this gift of vitality is I am so resourced because I have nature around me and I can go outside at any given point, put my hand on a tree or my foot on the earth and come back into the rhythm of nature and be recalibrated. And maybe the state of mind isn't pure bliss all the time, but it's something I can tap into. And really, the state that's more prevalent for me is satisfied. I can be satisfied. And satisfied is I'm proud of myself and the work that I've done, that now I can go to the places that hurt me and I can show back up, represent myself, who I be now, and I can be medicine for other people there. And that's the work that I've cultivated. That's the service. And I get to have a joy when those various pockets get to be places that I deeply connect in or feel recharged and rejuvenated by. So yeah.
And thank you for like, so I talk about ecstasy and turn on when I think about the infinite realities that we're all living in, because come on, like that's amazing. This is not the only one. This is not the only one. Like I will have an infinite number of timelines that I live on in this life.
Yeah,
that is just how this
dragon's another one.
I know, right? And like to be able to tap into the frequencies. And I just ordered bracelets for my this year and last year's word, and then my word for next year, so they should be in when I get back home. I'm so excited. It's like once you said that and I was like, oh my god, I do need them on my body. Like my body's been like, my spirit's like, oh, I need them. Like, it's so weird. I've never needed jewelry before. Like it's never been this like it's been enjoyable but not like this. So that's super fun. So thank you for naming that. And
like the alchemical process of using the metals, because that's alchemy.
Yeah. Yes. And I use different metals too. There's like there's like silver, and then there's copper, and there's like all sorts of different. I was like, what does this word feel like? And so like, but yes, there was a time a few years ago before I had ever done psychedelics where I was breaking down emotions. Like, and in my exploration of it, I recognized those like emotions aren't these things that run through us. Emotions are these energetic fields that we go to. They're different dimensions. And so like when I say I'm in love with you, I'm literally saying I am in the energetic dimension of love with you, right? And it's the same way, like we listen to a song all the time, the same song over and over, but it's so different depending on what energetic dimension we're in. If we're in the dimension of rage, that one song that's like, it could be super fucking annoying. However, when we're in the energetic state of bliss, the energetic dimension of bliss, that song's fucking beautiful and profound, you know? And so like, yes, we get to travel to these different dimensions, and in these different energetic dimensional states, which we call emotions, live a variety of different stories and beliefs and identities that we get to wear. Like as I'm walking out of this addiction that I had got myself back into, the stories that are available for me are not nearly as yummy as the stories that are usually available for me, either when I'm in my addiction and satiating that craving, or on the other side and outside of my addiction and not needing to satiate a craving, right? But in the middle, these stories are all full, and beliefs and identities are full of lack and unworthiness and rejection, so much rejection. And it's just been super interesting to see the stories that live here and to be able to recognize that the stories are associated with the state of being that I'm in and not, my experience.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
I
What a
think about
good,
something.
so good. Go ahead.
I think about something that Blue had said when she was talking about her hearing loss journey, and was saying, like, at the beginning of, like, if I can't hear, is my presence enough in a room?
Yes.
And that is the seeking journey for her. That was the beginning of her seeking journey of, I don't feel like it is. So that actually came from an unworthiness place that brought her into the seeking, where at some point through plant medicines or through a natural awakening or whatever, she came to the point that said, yeah, me just being in this room is enough. And I feel good. There's no more seeking needed. I don't worry about the future because it's no longer about the becoming. I can sit in this authentic place of who I be and be satisfied and know that I'm going to give myself the joy of service, of communicating and networking with people that charge me up and breathe life into me and excite me and inspire me and motivate me and create with me. Like, that's my discerning now. Is now that I've achieved this place that my presence is enough. I'm no longer seeking someone to tell me that it's going to be enough. Now I'm going to use all my vitality in the sacred wild, in these intimate containers, in these places where I can feel radically authentic to be me and celebrated in that. And I also compassionately witness how many people don't desire to achieve that. That's a different path for them. And and it's just different, just a parallel universe. It's a different curriculum. It's a completely different mission. And how beautiful that we all get to have our own mission. But there's a place that I found you. My soul found you. We connected through our energetic connection. We got to connect with other people. Now we get to continue to grow at our own authentic pace in doing what's true for us and allowing it to be a natural extension, that you don't build the whole thing overnight. It wouldn't work that way. You build it through the natural evolution of people coming in. I was thinking today, I used to want to have this Gene Keys website that was so extensive that had every single gene and every single, literally everything that you could think about with the gene. And I look back now, and this resource that I've been using for years called Unlock Your Design has essentially done it. And the reason and the way that she's done it, and it's been over the course of years, and it's because it's all collaborative.
Yes. There you are. I was like, well, at least it let us go on our let us go in our like little turn on fucking go on thing till it's 2 minutes before. Okay, fine.
The name of the game, I think, is just realizing that we're only one person. We have to just revitalize us. We have to replenish ourselves. And from that embodied place, we're going to have a download. What did we actually embody and what can we speak about? And then that'll be the service that we give. But we don't have to, just because other people are speaking about other things, think that we're responsible to speak about all of it. Just because we feel it doesn't mean we have to, because that's how we stay in the shadow. And, really, we're just here to release the concept of the future, because the only time is now. And when we release the concept of the future, we release 99% of our anxiety and worry, and we can tap into our natural state, which is our natural state is of joy.
Yes. Yes. And that lives in the present, like that right there, like this present moment right here. This moment is all that exists.
And it's the only place the joy exists.
Yes. Yeah, because it's the only place anything exists.
Yeah.
Like nothing else exists. Yesterday doesn't exist. Tomorrow doesn't fucking exist. My call 30 minutes from now doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah.
All that exists is right here. And that's been such a radical practice for me of letting go, of surrender, just deepening in every moment. And in this journey from right relation with self and spirit into the extension and expansion of that to be in right relation with others, is recognizing that we were never meant to do this alone. Otherwise, we would just be by ourselves here. There would be nobody fucking else. And that may be true, but there's all sorts of different expressions of me, that I get to enjoy and be with and play with and create with. And so like opening myself up to that again in a different state of being, and a different, more resourced way, with my foundation in my relationship and connection with self and spirit, that being the starting point for everything. I fucking love you so much. This was so good.
Happy 333.
Happy 333.
Sending you all kinds of love for the rest of the week, and big hugs and squeeze.
Oh yes, I know. I love you so much, babe. I will send stories and all the things, and I cannot wait to be with you next week.
Okay. Sending love. Take care.